development and empowerment. Some ministry be here pa be dia kotene our His Excellency John Mahama be mu fi say wa bra no mo ba pura no mo ton nsem de a kire ye a ni nyina be ye nsem a ye gina so to aba no wo kasi sudua se eno be ma mabunu na nya adwuma mabunu no be nya hoto eno ma enhye be boa ma mabunu no o masoma dwom no eye no ma wo de be ba wa bra be mu so no wonder say what ministry be a friend of youth development and empowerment. Youth development and empowerment. And also Ministry of Works and Housing and Water Resources. Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Culture. Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture. And also Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness. Dagana for the drona akoma so titru mabunu no eba betting taxa te say the dine na di bra na the sports ebrem no wo dine na di say eye tuo bia mo epetumi e di African for say wo betwam no maka no so wo de ose ebe yoyo yetie say de ono about to force e kan asem
to my substantive. That's all. To a publication on the 15th of March 2021, and I want to paraphrase because I don't want to miss any word. And I quote, Ghana today, we are complaining that this gambling is destroying our youth. I've read a number of articles on this. I would have thought that the government will come out with a policy to restrict gambling and to even ban it, he said. And this was a quotation attributed to you, Honorable Nominee. I want to ask and proceed on this. Do you still stand by this position of banning gambling and banning betting and all that in its entirety, or now your position has changed? That's what I wanted to ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I think it's a very good question, and it's an opportunity for me to clarify. Mr. Chairman, I was on a show with the Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah, and the contest must come out. The Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah, at the time a Minister for Information, I'm sure, had the responsibility to sell a government policy on betting. And he said, I'm surprised you are not bringing that portion. He said that betting tax is being implemented because it is destroying our youth, and that the government is introducing this betting tax the government is introducing this betting tax to deter them, equivalent to the press. I retorted by saying that will not solve the problem. That will not solve the problem because I've read a number of articles, and the article presupposes or suggests that it is destroying our youth. And so if you want to introduce a tax, you have to first look at the elasticities, and as to whether the elasticities will mean that imposing such a tax will prevent the individual or the people concerned from the staking of the VAT of the betting or not. But I doubt.
Was there no so one betwam say no sikanasem?
Very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, my position on the E-Levy is well known. I do not intend to run from it. I've written articles against the E-Levy. I championed opposition against the E-Levy. I still stand by them. Mr. Chairman, the E-Levy is neither a direct tax, indirect tax, or an excise tax. I don't know how to classify the E-Levy as a tax practitioner. Mr. Chairman, it doesn't mean that I do not recognize that the E-Levy brings in certain revenue, that if approved as part of the first budget, I'll be privileged and I will announce that we will abolish the E-Levy as part of our first budget, recognizing my earlier stance and the commitment that His Excellency the President Mahama said that as part of our 120 days agenda, we will abolish the E-Levy. We stand by that, and I can assure you the E-Levy will go within the 120 days calendar.
In the 120 days calendar, no, our president Mama, editor Ghana for him say 120 days on year call apambi na apamno ba ko say E-Levy be koro. And on Dr. Kasiela to force minister designate for finance adan na diwo appointment committee dwumadi omudi ni nra no mototo na no say E-Levy no kianeke ebeko enkai say E-Levy na yade na di emu bebre nya ani e kan wasem and aban no aka through honorable to force and say honorable Dr. Kasiela to force and there is a question no to nanim na say no kafa ho.
That is inaccurate. Mr. Chairman, let me also refer you to the same constitution, Article 184, 183, 1834. Mr. Chairman, it says the following shall apply to the governor of the Council of State for a period of 4 years. Mr. Chairman, the governor will have to be appointed by the president. The governor will have to subscribe to the ideals and the vision of the president in foreign exchange, the foreign exchange management. Appointment or his appointee must reflect exactly that. And so, Mr. Chairman, we have not heard the same constitution talking about the mandate of the central bank says that the president must appoint the governor. And so you have to appoint someone who subscribes to your ideals, someone who buys into your vision. And so he's going to appoint someone he believes will do what it takes. And so that will be done. That will be done.
Thank you. You are going to, Chairman, he's introduced an important matter. There's a central bank governor. We have a governor of the central bank.
Who has mismanaged the bank?
Yes. He's going home.
Central mismanagement. The mismanager of the bank, not the manager.
When is his tenure coming to an end?
Mr. Chairman, you should be telling us, but I know he has had his 2 terms, 2 maximum terms, and he has some months to go. So certainly within the next 4 years, the president will have the opportunity to appoint a governor.
I mean, after he has retired?
I am not appointing authority.
Pardon? No. Mr. Chairman, we need some protection here. The majority, Chairman, exactly. Honorable nominee, Honorable nominee, you are telling the committee that the governor has some few months to go. I want to ask you that this new appointment you are referring to, would it be after his retirement?
Honorable members, the Constitution states clearly the tenure of office of the governor. So definitely what the nominee is saying is that within a period.
Well, that's a way I need that. Come on, PFA, and that one. So, question none, your friend say, honorable to force in a year no effort. Oh my Ghana, you see, now what they in the Quanya, you bet my fasona, Ejnan and Naso, no, say, governor of the Bank of Ghana, no, central bank and the governor, no. I was say, where you obia, not gain, ni susie, ni bibi ye biano, and reflecting on near His Excellency John Mahama and Iswadi Hunu. I was say na kuma ni sunsun ni bibia e reflect on there John Mahama ginama eti e ba sidi na ho ade ade na John Mahama ginama ejinama sidia ejina faako a e so be ba mfaso de ama o man Ghana sidia ejina rate emfa ohaw ni amane emre omka no so honorable to force and say within this 4 years mandate here His Excellency John Mahama wo no obeti wenya akwanya obepo obia na adwene na adwene ye pe obepo obia oba reflecting na ni swade hunu we say etietia tianya nya bibia ye ko bia so asema honorable atofo se na de tudwa e de fa ye sidi no ahoden ne kwan a wo mbe fa so aye amenagina yie eno no e na fe so mame famra aha say meba aye honorable John Jirapo ensem no so bad ba ko bi ehia aye university free first term for no omombe university His Excellency John Mahama ne NDC e manifesto no kire say eba school fees na aban no ebe faka honorable apanyo marking ebusinable Dr. Kasila to forsen na no yie na yenim komoketo bi tie we
alone I'm working with cabinet. I'm mindful of our manifesto promises, and I should be the one to be able to recommend same to government if we can afford it. And as long as it's in government manifesto and there are timelines to it, I commit to it. I commit to it, and we'll do just that. But let me get to the ministry first. Let's see.
It's about a year free tuition for first year students or tertiary no. Tertiary no one university for no kwa. And now say ye tertiary na tertiary money nyina asem ene eka. But then hono I felt say honorable Atofo nanka ne na no so ya ne say or repeated here His Excellency John Mahama and in fact near NDC manifesto neka. Yeah. The na no so ya no because ebra ne ekoto aba ne nsem ni bia ye gina so e de to aba ma NDC ene John Mahama ene say wo ka say first year for no mo beko tertiary institutions no wo mu school fees ne ka no aban ne besoa e ka bi na wo fo pi e to aba de ma John Mahama ene NDC so honorable Dr. Kasila to force we nothing for you cause straightforward the manifesto can ye the si President Mahama ni sunye so mo ko nursing training in grano am ye tertiary students no they'll benefit from it or mo ko teacher trainee they'll benefit from it tertiary I simple tietia but when you begin to speak like this you know agree with the person go 14 minutes say jama niamo yes say mo de to Ghana for anim say mo a campaign promise no jama mo person mo say mana and that is worrying ya go man so na me fa Professor Kwame Minkah or a political marketing strategist emra enkomoni na yanhwe no ma hodo a edindan de na ne ho adi bra na vetting no ekoso enra His Excellency John Mahama ne appointees no oma wa ma omo adwuma omo na ye tutu oma no omo tibi represent His Excellency John Mahama ni so ade hunu wo ma no yiye mu ana omo tibi anye sa adwuma no Professor Kwame Minkah e wa homa no so prof ye mo ache mo akwaba me da so pass wa Japan say and I only ever kasa wo dwuma so na first question wo appointment committee na adwuma no e so enra and say Woma President Mahama appoint to my veti woman no omutimi edan President Mahama eni so ade hunu edi anase na also mo ye de do mo ye nra no
okay that's it well say yeah but discuss the I want to war appoint to another designate ministers were actually were appoint on the one be I want to wear veteran say but discuss the be will represent president and then visionary. Maybe I who perhaps 3 areas. One, on the president Nankasa who the member into no okay the the first 20 days no obey in some P in a walkout or the if extra the onyimbre into no although BB or Zama shoulder and that two manifestos no more somehow okay pepper years amount to order to go and three so the kind of experience all the based on the previous presidential term the number 3 in the as they call bring back a framework idea framework at the aspect whether appointees will reflect on or not. No, make the injury because actually answers are in fact another no point. I mean, share attorneys in the pay because no more class. That's not the pen and between me share.
Okay.
That actually in the past, the company in the past now, and the drama piece, what for the ABMP, what is cultured truth nazo or the Baho in a most of the Obia or answer questions in the minister no urban. No, a chief P better in Kofu, some kind of a certain dramatic moment. In answers no Obama say bona will quote to Bible was in still be Nazi from Nazi, those things have characterized vetting process under the Ehu Kupo.
Yeah.
In that way. It was straight to the point. So we'll be sent a question now. Question where you will be sent. Technically, honor Nozema, no references straight to the manifesto.
Yeah.
Straight to the vision of the president, straight to what Ghanaians need. References to statistics. Anytime he wants to establish things, he wants to bring competencies on board, he wants to bring experience on board. It was truly reflected by our ancestors, and I think that it was commendable.
But Prof, baby, so now why I said no, you cautious. I said what tread cautiously. No one person be committing who be brain. For instance, on the issue of cocoa bottle buono, and in near a brand opposition, they are not no jinama. Na penyo marking ebisa question no person or committing a hono. Now so honorable Dr. Kasiela to force tread cautiously on the issue of a year free tertiary education. I say first year for now abine befa a canon and here say or bet church tertiary nimu say wine a benefit no. Now so honorable to force a year cautiously no. No strategy no because we are at a time at Ghana and now honorable to force him boy Emma Sadi and the dining wedding.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was sometimes a bimo or doing be there. The Western should be in Numa and Bonaparte. And most within politics, you have to be pandering. You get some stage, a better panda people just for favors, Nazi. He could have actually told those lines to ensure they be questioning and they be a mark and the objective. But obviously, egos will feel, smoothing. Not that we somewhere in our film. But one of them, he was very clear in his mind what the president has promised, what the party has promised in their manifesto, and what the people of Ghana need. He was not prepared to speculate, and I think that along the line he made it point blank.
DwaboAse up your market was destructive. Ne interventions ne senya na was ye no no na as a person say dwumadi no ne said you was say is here crotchy for omo MPP afano omo feel say senya na up your market no mano enu mom and the big Kenyan grassroots na sabro mamoto all because of that defeat almost so far in the 2024 elections. Unu avenue marking a role and say.
Well, I'm a what you call parliamentary, there are people who do parliamentary politics.
Yeah.
The role of opposition panel members, especially leadership, on such panels, know how they behave. I haven't actually observed and known the differences between them. And they make about, and I'm missing my judge and other, my education about afternoon market performance. I think that I'll be wrong.
No, my young community. So, for instance, in 2017, Ebrana Honorable Alhassan Suhini, a appointment committee in Oswano, and Opesu Busa Ninsemino. It was difficult for him to ask some of the questions because chairman allows a question for the chairman DwaboAse then no who question is a two personal and as a thrive on speculations then on chronoba so we allow Emma Ebeya Kasa on the appointment committee back then in 2017. In the case of Avenue Marking the way Owura a year and communimu any senya was bisa any senya in the view of some people who see I hijack the entire proceedings I
know, but what people realize fail to realize that the personality is also part of the public discourse. You know, because it boils down to, politics boils down to your ideological base. Into sometimes, what you call personal ethos and other principles and values, etc., actually influences your public decision making. And see, for me, I don't see anything wrong when somebody poses a question and it's a personal question, because the person wants to lay it down as a foundation to understand the rationale behind some of your public decisions that you make.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
So they could try to drive your personality into a conversation in order that they can lay you bare. And I want to respond to how I ever respond. I don't see anything wrong with that. And I make it, of course, in Confederate, he was overly dominant. Maybe because of one representation, and maybe lesser, another, maybe to the advantage of the MP, minimum composition, whether it's 7-4, 7-3, or whatever, I don't know the composition.
Composition is chimpe. Composition, number one, kama on the appointment committee,
Exactly, but from a psychological perspective, there's a dominant MDC over them. And they probably would want to pin them down in order that it wouldn't be like a walk in the park. That's it. I mean, I feel that yes, and Kofuru Kade, he was overly dominant. I don't think that it's a problem. I think that the majority, as the NDC, so they had the capacity to absorb him, and to make sure that they throw him down to the right places. So for me, unless you have enough knowledge about parliamentary proceedings, I do not want to really delve into that one because I'm not an expert within that field. But
the sadly display, and now Buama Amanfonswate minority in Kano. The sad display in any way undermine chairman on Sweduma.
No, it doesn't. I mean, look, it's a competition of ideas, it's a competition of thoughts, it's a competition of, skill and brilliance. That's it. Everybody has their own expertise and competences. I think the chairman handled it, perfectly well. He, at some point, will call him to order. He, in a very respectable way, he would ask him that, I would allow you to do it. It doesn't actually undermine the chairman. Obia wone su inside us. Obia wone trade. It is about you to understand the strength area, strong area, etc.
But Prof, there are rules of engagement. I mean, for instance, chairman Dane say, Nanka ideally, Maba fresh to class, Nenny and Combeka Jumedino, but we won't become a be a quenya gram day, a bizarre question. But rule say, will be a question. Go straight to the point. Sa preamble ne foundation na yele no ni sa the way I person say ye lawyers na ye na no. I mean,
I disagree. See, preamble is part of the question. Look, if you don't put preambles, it'll be into a civil rationale behind question.
Sure.
It's a part of in knowledge. It's part of because I send there back Canadians and there's what we call principle of sufficient reasoning.
Yeah.
I send there back Obiawo justification. Obiawo exactly. Now you cannot say that you're right and I'm unless I'm assumptions another I'm a certain preamble before we could all see that okay, this is what you mean, this is what I don't think the preambles are wrong. And I don't think that it makes it overly, today will be up with the. No, I don't think so. I think that it is a style of, expressing yourself. It is a style of, elucidating and eliciting certain, opinions, certain facts from people. And our area standing out there also in them brilliance, and there will be our moderate, although in them brilliance to control. So for me, I didn't think that's a substantive issue. I think the substantive issue is that was the minority doing their work in order that they can check to make sure that they are getting quality ministers onto the fold.
Okay.
And was the majority able to respond to that? I think it was yes. So I don't have an issue.
By the end of Omujumedi, and we say the way air kono, you bet the best out of the ministers in Anna.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys, they've been deputy ministers before. They've had opportunity to learn from brilliant leadership, and they know the enormity of the problem before them in South Africa. Now, this election, watching and the politicians, they have to wake up. If they don't wake up, it is their own problem.
That's right.
Ghanaians are very wide awake. 4 years, and yeah, will be you. In fact, 2020, Nanado, it looks like you. Of course, courts make a different thing, but it sends a strong signal that you don't even have the luxury for 2 terms in South Africa. And see, ministers, they are very much aware. They are very much aware that this is a 4-year term for them if they don't perform. If they perform, Ghanaians would actually give you another term. If you don't, you're on your way. Okay. They may give me forcing people and then making sure that they are there, the evidence of this NDC's fight in the last election. Look at the way they went to see a Fabia, what's the ballot room, about 25,000 or whatever ballot room. Every day, MPs won't win. I want to win. I want to. They've learned the taxes. International. I was I've been in the house they will see through and they will be able to tackle you in that aspect. Until now, it looks like we are going to get quality. We are going to get quality. If you don't give quality, you are out.
But will we get collaboration between NDC Afano and MPP Afano? And I'm asking this question because, Prof, Shadio, on the issue of oral, Operation Recover, all the loot no masse, Omajumas and the committee no, I show Majumasia, Odia Dansidia, who do to go. I'm off when you just said, President Wedi and Niable say, Obaboy, a boss or home by Obaquentia, Ketasana Proyono. MPP Afano warm Rasha on the appointment committee, the legalese, and I say a ransom. Ebusa nientia e wosi enya body bisa. Do you think that collaboration na be boa ama man na gina ye, especially with the nation that is in crisis no? Ebetima ba na.
See, why bona oba ye na junim do collaborate perfectly. Look, I want to bona and especially I know which one I didn't put over bona, they don't collaborate. Or ya who expertise and who innovativeness are able to bring them to book in all counts. Is that it? I want to one now, Jim Dobe, one idea through their work, no way bond. I want they can collaborate. But those who want to pour that will real money to Canada, they won't collaborate.
Wow.
It is full innovativeness, full taxes, full approach, innovative approach, no more. Why then? And our ability to demonstrate that you're out there to, seek justice for the country. No, but more, any result. So for me, it is about, the government making sure that they are put in appropriate place. Look, the oil is a good thing. Say how are Ghana for our budget.
Yeah.
You need to succeed to give confidence to the people that are indeed time na politicians where you see in the what you want which way what be is the for. Later, no one answer for a base. Say you always so. Meanwhile, or man is going to win or that base. That thing should belong to the past. And I think that the current government shouldn't think that they will collaborate, they will cooperate. They will not. Until they have to put their foot on the ground and make sure that they do justice for this country. Very
well, Prof. Medoase pa no Breno Adajia when you are that's pa. Professor Kwame Minkah, political marketing strategist, and attending can oral assembly. Medoba called no idea or Martin Pebu ne ye honorable Samuel Okuje to a black sofa. No more ye Ediabo or my Ghana Yansase and by Yansasi Bianca and Kophobia Mua Bemu Komuyaji. I tell many as a Medoba called, but answer no. Quickly, still on the appointment committee. No, yet ye honorable John Jidapo at the Kafa. Said young crown so you bet you maba within the energy space. Said about your care dia so Sikasaya Kuka no Nina to be ECG here said be ye Juma ye no ni nyina no ebetima dan no wadi yetie senior John Jinapo kan asem.
You on the 18th of September 2024 alluded to the fact that when the matter of ECG was up for discussion, you stated that the decision to have a private sector participation wasn't what was good for ECG. However, you are of the candid and considered opinion that the interference by politicians and the fact that we need to weed off political interference was the way to go. Fast forward on the 17th, on or around the 17th or the 7th of January, you were heard again on radio stating that you think that the only way forward was to have private sector participation, especially in the metering and collection sector of Ghana Electricity Company. Now, my question to you is, and you back this particular position with the fact that ATC and C, which you just alluded for, and for the benefit of Hansard, we are talking of aggregate technical, commercial, and collection losses, was 40%. Could you please give this committee the breakdown of these 40% losses in terms of ATC and C in the various sectors of that particular aggregate figure?
I'll do that. Mr. Chairman, first of all, I'm surprised that this allegation has been leveled against me, because I've remained consistent that there should be a private sector participant in the distribution, especially, like you said, billing and collection. When I was Deputy Minister, I led the process. When Honorable Secretary became my supervising minister, he made me lead the process of privatization. I led the team to India, I led the team to Uganda, I led the team to Kenya to learn from best practices. And so I'm surprised. And let me put on record that I've been very consistent that we need private sector participation at the distribution level, except that I disagreed with the format of the PDS, and I maintain that we can do it better. The ATC and C, I think it's about 20.
Okay, 80 private sector participation with distribution level, and or kasafa omo bechiche enyinam kania nye omo bebuama enyinam kania na ba no omo chiche. So in this case ECG ATC benya company bi ankrankra nyuma go bia ebeba bewurema boa said be sikagie sikanya sika no boaboa no ebetiba koso yo eno na His Excellency John Mahama any omo wana be mo no edi omani ache yentie President Mahama wa bra na wo hye sa asem ni mu kina on private sector participation, especially with regards to the management of ECG.
Thank you all for the warm welcome you gave us during the campaign when the bull in a China shop is Electricity Company of Ghana, the sick man of the power sector. I mean, you can't run an electricity utility and make 40% commercial and technical losses and continue to think that you have a viable business. And so something must give in that sector. And that's why I've said that we are looking at introducing private sector participation. If you remember, under the Millennium Challenge Compact, we had agreed that in the last portion of the distribution, billing, and metering, we're going to introduce private sector participation. And so I remember I signed the contract eventually, the compact, and we started the whole process with improving the national grid with the bulk supply points, the BSPs and all that. But there was also a component for private sector participation in billing and metering. And so the new government took over, and that's when the whole PDS saga happened.
Eti se utie die honorable John Jinapo kaina was said ye die na ye be no Mahama mo die na mo ba be no enye PDS format ni bi yes e wo say ye pese ankrankra ebe mu die ba ye gas wo mo meje boso ti said ye PDS no mo ye na akoye ye nuanom ye namfonom no na ye biebie kwan ne ma akwanya no aye mmeremmeremre dia mo a akomo ya abeje oman na boso nam so nti America for de omusika komo de ba behye ye nyinam kane mpuntuo mu no ekoye so already na plan no ye emotion na plan no ho dada se be ma nkran bewuram se de be ya sa commercial and technical losses na ya na da bia ECG kom no etu betwa ye ka say 2.5 million US dollars, right? And a million US dollars a ka and the ECG so sa ka no technical and commercial losses no and then you bet my ya phone. So present mama when it's you know sa 40% of a cano ye be ya bet me a yi sade na fro na say ye be man kran abe batay ho ye di sa adwuma no eno no be bie kwan na my investment bit say de America for year no mire bi no etimi aba especially at this time I hear someone. So that is what he's looking at. Eti proof way proof for meaning somebody adia ye Ghana dia no ya na mpempi na damakoma so say yen fansha nkran san na nkran meje moso no e adia mon time pe but I feel say this time round no mama present ma the benefit of the doubt na yen hwe say ne dia no besi aye because our private sector participation now work on and this a PDS you know and that is what we should take very good note of wabra ye din communities you know and His Excellency John Mahama said you hunu sisi ye yi kire no one eye House of Chiefs NHI nanano matena nkonya one omu NHI na nkoma ahodo na one omu di ye ba ko edi akotini ni hwe mame.
First, thank you all for the warm welcome you gave us during the campaign when we called on you in your palaces. I do think that the role you played in welcoming us and giving us good counsel on how to conduct our campaigns and make sure that the election is held peacefully, in a peaceful atmosphere. I think all that contributed to the successful election we had. We must thank all of you and thank the Almighty God for once again seeing Ghana through a successful election. And I think that the way the whole world celebrated Ghana for the peaceful transition has added one more accolade in our caps as the beacon of democracy in Africa.
A House of Chiefs na oni omudi nkomo che said ye yabato no ne aban adane esia koso ene said ye esia hye kabi mami kabi amamumu ekina wakasafa no ma hodo ena osanso de nani swade hunu ahodo to ye nananom ateda nkonya enim ye ka say oral team no so asho munwuma ase and to said me di kan dan na di e de kire no ensase ahodo a ye Ghana ban ne dia anka amanfo bi jata o mani ase no eno honorable okujeto ablakwa ni team omukwa apro na probodi mu nsem nie hwade we.
It really survives without an agric mechanization department, a department which really helps us to attain food security, to be able to feed ourselves. This became the latest state capture victim, where the Eswal government descended upon this place, removed the roofs, evicted those who were here, and a number of people are affected, not only the agric mechanization staff. You have been talking to the leaders of the Vegetable Producers Association. You've seen that the local government ministry also has some departments here. They are also affected. Then MVTI, you saw that MVTI has also been asked to relocate. They have had their roofs, portions have been removed. We keep hearing the name Clement Jato. And that is the same person who the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has been engaging to carry out the so-called redevelopment. And we must emphasize that as members of parliament, at no time did the government come to parliament for approval.
Clement Jato, and to say the honorable Okujeto to Ablakwa Edane, you know. O ma mamra se bedwe fie so amaji approval bia o yesi ye redevelopment of the aban sase o ena miamia hodo a MVTI ne nyumeku ahodo a eso mfaso ma oman Ghana no and ye pamo muso mufruona ye bege redevelop into what Clemenjato no wine. I don't know about a black or dine. I was yadi and commono is Maminka say ECG omo cano ye 2.5 billion Ghana cedis. 2.5 billion Ghana cedis. And all the bad dollars more $199.2 million as a AK. Now, yes, choice way, His Excellency John Mahama office at the Krata Aba Abontena Krata no addressed to Edward Nanaya Krante, Chief Executive Officer Emma Minerals Income and Investment Fund Accra. Na Krata no title that's what it say revocation of appointment as CEO of Minerals Income and Investment Fund. I write to formally inform you that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has revoked your appointment as Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Income and Investment Fund effective immediately. You are directed to hand over your duties to the President's representative at the Ministry of Finance, Honorable Dr. Ato Folsen, will oversee the operations of the fund until a substantive Chief Executive Officer is appointed. The President extends his gratitude to your service to the nation. Yours sincerely, Callistus Mahama, PhD, Secretary to the President. And a Kratawe, it is copied to the Vice President, Office of the President, Jubilee House, Accra, the Chief of Staff of the Office of the President, Jubilee House, Accra, and Honorable Dr. Cassiel Atuba Forsen, President's representative at the Ministry of Finance. And Krata a free Office of the President and on say a year CEO Emma Minerals Income and Investment Fund. Yes, one for the Juma and tour immediately. CCA of the Juma and tour. It's abroad in a Juma and tour. Honorable to Forsen and a Beshe Jumedia Bekoso, our Minerals and Investment Fund. A year me for a Wabra, ye train see a benya substantive CEO. Amana kwa ye Juma. Ebusha Megina we so chose Mahama or ye Juma on night. Every day or so confident basis abre me use a holiday be aba na say honeymoon be a koso adwuma no kwa na koso back to back yen ti ben for the betima yen say ye dey ahoden e beta na chi mano ato ye be se record move power. So we are moving this morning. If when you can see a grant by Martin, so
yeah, near Kwame.
A crack of it, Martin. Lovely. That is not lovely.
When you're tea. And I brother obey who
and I brother.
Oh, yes, and Tuesday.
We have drinks and I draw down.
On said Gabono.
Gabono, so
Gabono.
Master,
with the Gabono
counts on the chum. Son about me, Tifia Walker. Was it not the man who make out?
I don't even count him.
I know I'm winning my opponent. But I pay Gabono. Mama make Gabono.
Well, I said, no, the Nana up and your marking, you know. And then the Queen be a war fossil said a bear. Gapon on their home at year by no.
Tension,
and the guy is a
fat.
Befy.
I'm fat.
Kazongo money a bemano.
That's what it is, majority.
What
it is, and young more as a woo, Mr. Majority for no power. What it is,
but I funny said, Deputy Speaker, Ura Ahia for Benjamin Bernard.
I have for chairman.
I was say,
my committee.
I was say,
on continent. Oh, second who? Oh, no, my friend, you're marking value, and you have your beer.
That's a tolerance.
Almost my tolerance.
Sir, yes, patapa atadia the patapa nevro atia. It is why Nadine say obey intimidate you.
Respect. I am minority leader. In fact, I am mini micro minority.
Fana to baby, I was order.
Oh, president.
I micro. Mini micro.
One was what
I saw ordinary to her.
One down.
Fine, Kosha.
I said, wait, do me a yard for Ubi Ibiana.
Debbie, no, I saw yourself. I saw you say.
Growing night. Hey, financial honum. I think you Kosha.
Easy.
On Kosha.
I see.
I catch yourself.
And then it is a power number. I sent you.
Anyway,
come. Bernard here for Akati South MP committee chairman vetting committee
appointment committee
mo epacho ayi apenyo marking financial ho financial
the position
any majority nko na won rase majority minority
onu no ka che yen se bibia be sin go se yentimi friend na se ayi ontimi go minority leader and no micro minority and financial ho if corner mu ho
yeah
lovely
lovely papers no must say
come and then the daily post na be fiase
yeah
na Dr. Kessel atuforcing
Cassiel
atuforcing
no body ni me nyina etiase
Cassiel say no na minam
ya say di na che
Castle forcing
say Cassel say that
na so for power for the anka say na asam so ni I said baby yanko
enti ni for ni wo daily post mu o chem say busumi ebiesa wo yen enimi
yeah
copy match na say betting tax
power
E-Levy
that's right
we be yefio
okay
first budget na tew we be yefio enti nya daily post obetimi akinka me
and the budget here di kai dey be kan say
we be here so so na say fufu na no pe daily post dey aba no owa John Abdullah Jinapo minister designate for energy osi kwam tio 400 million Ghana cedis bi wo busumi bia hisije entumi mo hun konta fankyere yen
wow
kwam sika yira wo hisije kwam bribia besin ko bekai mi ye hwemu bi wo hisije beka kyerem so nsumpo a wo mu wo hisije ho no kwam obi edinam kontuna se na busumi bia na ye tua ho ka ena John Jinapo aka ho asem no osi 400 million Ghana cedis busumi bia yira
hisije board chairman e hwan
anya afenyo marking
anti na ni abra no obusa say board no
afenyo marking
board no kwamba so ni edizo
afenyo marking
awo fa so ba no sa kwan na
chana sa gab ni na gab no
okay
kasungu na kan wa ha
mo fire
so
daily post
and the buy asefu fa ode aba e wo daily post mu echem say owa team no o se hwe papa ebebua makuntebu ayedwuma hina na ka asasem no Dr. Dominic Ayeni
okay
minister designate for attorney general and if minister for justice
yeah
and waka hu asemi kwam oran sensemi ora man kan yama be say
Matias
mami ko mani mo daily post mo kwam te una mi fesi o daily post mu kasongo
and the form
mo mari naga
now one start you know as be winning here because Canadian nurse chichi but we didn't say chichi
Faroti. Faroti.
Faro bay.
Nana nebu. Yeah, we are talking about Sigagrade, brother. I grab it here, brother. Anytime. Nana nebu did that way.
It's on your daily post. His Excellency Nana Danko Kufuor.
Oh, yeah, former president
of the Republic of Ghana. Yeah, start to Adolfo man and you agree.
I said, Stalakebi. If you order the do her baby, so by any one shot on Yan and so anything, and you're telling and I say,
obviously, what who need to the about
a post for to say, or more with this abonee.
No, but you know.
Marvin to us na memfa overseer people no and to us on pianim ya brabum to wonsam overseer ka wonsam kakra so na yesi ani siam yokono ukopiem a se dodo na na omani ajesan sia pa owura atofo sen se omra mehwe Ghana sikasam so nti wonsam ho so na owura gina po so aba mane se yisigi se de niam ekono wo se nyinam kan wonsam nyina na ji wonsam no ya makwan na ankrankron so ba mu bi na etimi abuanti wonsam se ko akrata de overseer de ababetudwa so na fa no ka se nyame ya adoma finance ministry no so owura atofo sen aba mane se tax bebra na egu ye so ho kire no ebi E-Levy betting tax ni ade ni nyina no budget edika na away ni nyina befu na se ho ato ye enti wonsam na se the overseer so ade abetudwa.
About 56 minutes ago, Orabridge Kumado, our security expert. Okay. What about two Facebook say, "Sa vetting of government ministers, any deputies no. Yen free na shouldn't fashion. Or say it doesn't add meaningful value.
I didn't know.
It's strange.
Yeah.
Also bet you.
Yeah. I was saying.
I'm pemping.
Because you have to do a man who are better than you. Omutirimupo. A man for one send me the form one. Forum buying no mubetimi e dia todwa.
But be anso no ohwe mofragoria ti sesenia apanyo marking oriye ya bia na nu so ka ho bi. Because now we started vetting all of a sudden is a minority leader we are working out because me MPP for question no chairperson of the committee ma Kwame won bisa
was what tata ni nkofo no first comments no
Kwame Minkah wasem in 2017 NPP for one more the same committee so then asem no wan ka che yenua Alhassan Suhini
o say hanya radio station
one ka che say radio station one ka che say radio gold and then the opinion marking one ya no say den
Twaso.
Kasongo twaso open.
Yam paso na. Ghanaian Times. E-Levy sema atoforcing akase wo be yefi no ewom. Na ma se fufura na no be Ghanaian Times said aba no. O say government will tackle corruption head on. President assures the clergy. Hero John Dramani Mahama. Ano dia rohwemu sem akwama. Eye asofo ene ejedi suma horo e wo man mu se kitahye prani dream di kankan no aban no betu nsa wo so ye papa se na be obeko etia esan se kwam no amini oratim fu ye ko aprobo won kran Ghana nsase o man Ghana japade
wodi e che sense training
with
the cameras idiot
you nsase bungalows ahoro ayo man na japade Northern Development Authority won sase bungalows aya bangi dia a doctor futima wamuri eni ejuma agriculture mechanized center eye biaya yedi nuyan efi omamu kwa manoni koton a bangi down no ajije bi allegedly e dia mama ni nkrofo a wapamu wom.
Wow.
Wait, this kind of corruption his government will better tackle no head on.
Okay, it is to say yakohu ya beka ne krakrakra ne say
Kwame krakrakra ni say committee no di ho amanebo ebe kwakoma omampanyin ene abang lawyer panyin na wo biara ho bon wo mu no enye sesika wo beje wo hokekewo enye sensase no wo beje kekewo ede ma omang ni bi mo na mbom ye sandu be kwako gina mranim sadenti ene bia me akora ana wo Kwame ni ade aye nyina ye dia no wakoto
mate All right, okay,
yo my yanto so our daily graphic moon so na daily graphic abamane say child rights international owura bright kwaku apia edano no so ade tudwa say na school no senior high school say de ka say bia ye ma awofo ntue bi ni ade no eno no sere say anka betimi a aban ma ye mfa sa bed no ma awofo na anka aban na mpe we say miss na ontuatua ka no na che say nkwada no ntimi nko school no na ebeti eno ne ya na adwen kire but e bia me no metie me ne nya adwen e wo kwan bi so esansa awofo no bi wo ska bia free senior high ba no bia dodo na nkwada no ko school nso betimi a bia ka na 2000 na awofo no fa bia 500 cities and 1000 crowd bo aban na anka enya bo ne betimi eni ntia hwe kwan a ebebo na kasa aban no nko amfa na ebekọ so atro kan se dia ye hwe no enya dia ebebo
ba me dia ma hotoso ne se enche bia no enhyemu kese no bekoso na adwento ato akọ ami asi ginaye wo se ne besi aye free cities
nti eno nsam ana daily graphic ade betu dwa sa so ana panemu no se dia se ayowura ginapo ka se energy won nsam yema nkrankrum bremu no ECG titru yema nkrankrum bremu na board chairman for no
kasongo diwo
so se ya nkrankra na se betimi abo nti won nsam ho ana fe betting tasa ye beja ni tua na yi no mo bet no eno so yasem de ade mamo obi a minimu no o bet ma
na somebody abrabo kra bet
o do bet ma ebi enti ni nyina no I say bet ties and mejetia and afi I new year school and so ene so me shasi ahonsem no paper no ebo ya
afi bia ye
mami fa ene on se de bia mi tunyombe
kasongo
mashampa bo afufuro mi na ntia sison bisin ya mi de o mi ko bia me no
as a krama na se me unsamafo e je o mo kasi krama won se no mo kasi twaso
Daily Dispatch and the
was it there how the NDC swept the king of political swing regions central ye bomachemo analysis shronko asu bi mada and owura benefsin e dey about Daily Dispatch
only me deputy
oh yeah
e fa no Peter Nkoma
I wear Peter na tray okay
kasongo ye wonga start kasongo ejuma
o jaisa
come
we chirem
Daily Dispatch
na so bu chire madai na so bu de da bi o mu chire no
Bamia win by 51.3%
and ye dada
Mahama win 47%.
They say you are pam foforo
hey come
Daily Dispatch
yeah and Kwame
say
and a Bible canon or say for nothing will be impossible with God.
Chronicle.
Is there anything too hard for him? Is there anything?
Yeah.
Also, MPP gurus on building a united and resilient NPP part 1. And also the one man about Daily Dispatch. San Wakan and MPP 4.
And Asibe and the NK of Brimpong common. And the NK of Brimpong compared to what's go business and more parties say they was there. The amount for Akano Aba Bonteno and 1 year the edge from see
and
Nidi Abdul Salam. What's a make sure say Kasongo na mama kwa na mintu microphone.
Lovely. Kwame sorry so na ye via chronicle e dey ba ye na roto no so ye beje afia be sia back nti won sam ho be boa na ye de so economy ni bibi na atimi aboa samso no ro open case so no enyansi ye tra no ye say won sam so no e da so ho paper no fertilizer won sam
8 good years 8 years what do you see drive wo
ayi o just obi ape be de no ho atoto enti no tie Mami kan potokasem o see I endorse Mohammed's 24-hour economy why can we just phone Joseph Siao
with no comment. President John Dramani Mahama Babia will be a Chief of Staff Julius Debra, Executive Secretary to the President,
Dr. and the Gloria Sino Tifa,
Kasongo so.
Yetiao, and I'm a prophet, Excellency, Professor Nana Jeno Pogajuma, Yetiao.
Ghana na edesa no. So obi ade ne ho 2 years. Me na me de buy. Me na me kai. Me say ukodomu a on de hye na ka say ezu. Obu fansa abeje. I'm sorry, come. Agbozo Herbal Clinic. I was here. Bema ode pay me anu atiato. O men say no ntimi nya mane wie pay. Mr. What dia na Agbozo Herbal Clinic why? Cohort is here, course is here. A doctor for jail. Candidize is white. Edi winya. Embassy commemorate to ye how. Eye Agbozo Herbal Clinic. Come on chain. Or question no buy him fear no better from more 0241750282 and 0557402696. Ninkrabata na waterman or war community 25 Savannah Junction in Deftra Quest State no and a DNA we show better from more 0557402696. On my net Rasia Yane Oura Doctor Godwin Akwogan and a veteran doctor Mianam de Mano. Dr. Akwogan, on only an veteran were Deputy Communications Officer NDC Manukono. President Mama by I take you off. But I take you off for Kwame. You want some Missa. But I paid ye. A Dubananda say ya. Idea will be a giant. Nieta message giant say, Tribe Fidino, San Casafonia, Tribeno, say radio so I say Rian Waso, Netia Fise. Yadia what memu hanyina any yadia I na adwen say pese ba memu hanyina no eduro ba ko pe no mutidi na no madwane mame modi no 3P garlic mixer also me kai owato Dr. Prince Nelson Mototi abetenase na oba hima so abefia de fia be de bruta dog akwa we dey bejo so eze de aji won sebo 3P
every day bia metimi hu say energy no ekosoro ewie peye
za
ahoden no interest no so ewosoro.
That's right.
Yes. Na many baby free ba.
Za
secret no.
Proudly sponsored by
na NPA.
If you know, you know.
Of course.
With the man, dog.
Yeah.
Boy, come on.
All right. I don't pay Chagana for na ya power. It's here for TV expert. I for you na wait me who say pure katanasi. On a pay so yedi apom dimpa dumadiana yedi mawo ama yapom etimi ewie pay papa. Say nani dedi kan a wo hweye anasa wutie ya na wuti pure pe na wait me who say yen na ye nam abefo kwan so etime twetwe nnwani no ahodo a ye de bo adasa wiase ema apomden mapa etime ewi pɛ wonim sɛ ye no pɛyi aboam pem ama yaresa etime ewi pɛ yetime atwetwe nnwani no ahodo afi nnuba mu nhan mu eboa ama apomden etime ewi pɛ ye ka number 1 organic drugs in Ghana in pem pa dia na wetime hu sɛ 3P garlic mixture 3P garlic mixture. And then buam pem ema apumdin ahotoso etimi ewie peye ama Ghana for apumdin akoyie papa. De biara me kase odasane bia otiase dide home enom enti ye tiase ye dide ye home ye enom de eye den ya efin ekọ ye nipadua mu adonti etwase ye nsiesie ma apumdin mapa ewie peye me ka cho se wonipa de edan ya wodamu no se edan no ye fia ye ntu mfri dan no mu ye siesie dan no ema apomden ahotoso ewie peye we na piwak for ene ye ko 3P garlic mixture moja ede nipa mu no about 5.6 liters won se akoma de moja kona abab a day you know within 24 hours no about 2,000 gallons na akoma no e de ko eba na se dubrin na moja ni nwani no efamu no se emusia eye de papa pam akoma no moja na twesa nka wode ko no want me
2,000 gallons
within 24 hour period and akoma no pump ko eden ade eba.
Wow.
Papa sister me se woni pedidi enti ye didi no eye de ye efin bi menya kwan akwakwhye sa adobren no mo
yeah
srade bi menya kwan akwakwhye ho enti eba no sa enwa ma modwa etwa se ediafo sane no na adwuma ye no enti mi enwie peye enti ye nya bibia efe no poor blood circulation na ye kase poor blood circulation na ye be kase is the limitation of blood flow as a result of fat particles on unwanted substances that can blocks in our arteries that prevent blood flow. Just say bibia moja entimi nia for sane titupa betimi aye srade ene no mahodo bia ono dwuma ne se emwa ema moja nya den entimi enya kwan enko nya den emma se sade no ba oni panipadua so a na eche se wanya bibia fe no poor blood circulation se moja no entimi nya den eni afusane eye ade ne betimi atwe sade aba my sister ebeto so.
Okay. Doctor achichi mbibiri ama ye hono penso ye bechia mo sonko ye moti ye ne dia na ya apumde na na ye bohu dahuru se na doctor edin kan 3p die ye garlic any honey na aduma kuma manura adokota fa kukudam ageka bomu atwe juice na my vitamin C na afensu minerals inte ye adwuma mojanim tise na no pe doctor kan for blood circulation ho asemo a na odika na nyoma ekofa ba ene kwan ye fa so didi obu ho mache no onom sane se ma da ye ha nye mudidi sa nye kasa nyimunya no occasionally emfa ma ye na ye emfa 3p ni momunya ye budidi wati asentu 3p garlic mixture na afi wadidi to we fansa no den cover 3p into occasionally no no mansa na no was half 3p
but 3p net me bie yafunu no
baby papa echen akọ na abia baby am wadidi fine ama wa ye fine body ni beba fine sabe pepe ama ohun ato obo nso wa ye kese atwonye se minya meye badidi ena ama fats anase gas anase enuanu waste products no akawo uridi enimu Mr. Wada 3p garlic mixture enom ono impacho unya 3p garlic mixture no ma bibia bekosu ye the amount na doctor kan garlic any honey ena amajo ena ya twene ma ye minerals any vitamins ye adwuma ye moja ye ntini ni yakoma ne ho nti na make sa afedu ye nyemfa ne saa sine be no monsan yemfa 3p ensinche anopa yemfa baako ewia yemfa baako enyume yemfa baako na ebeboa ya pomden
doc minua bis ye friend Benjamin oponchecheku oso mi susu njeje ho na ye budidi ndie
ekru anase oman bia wo na mamrani na manani ne kwan baako a moreji wo mani sa woti ase de ye kan nyina na say insan de ye ntimi nya wo ye man mu ha sa woti ase ba bibia responsible you should be responsible for it enti ni nyina mu no piwak say de wodi akoni padua ne mu de ekọ ma ekwan ben so na de enye no wobetimi yie frem sa woti ase eno enti na wo hia 3p garlic mixture no akoni padua no de ba meka ubetimi abo ato ha ye ma wo so enye ye ba 3p ko ne pede no pe e be diffuse ni nyina ayeden etimi efio ntina me say na wahwe hu ye wo no mu no na wahwe hu ye kakra na watimi ama 3p no akoni pede no ene across the country nyina no benya ye no pay bi wo ho na aboa ama obi a hypertension mo jaboso how diabetes how intesua asthma how kese bia wa ye how no 3p be boa wo e bia na wo tamale na wo hwe ya offer kwadwo heba opposite tamale taxi rank they can electromat in Chaobian 3p garlic mixture ebia na wo wa money away enterprise opposite wa cathedral and so 3p garlic mixture kumase furniture Danny Heba calling na Chris K and so 3p garlic mixture ma pom dent me wi pe wo eye nkokore ne mantama eye Isaac drugstore and say Hillside pharmacy na wo kofodia Gapson pharmacy total 2 na Benol pharmacy obian 3p garlic mixture wo wa Albert Sam wo obian 3p ho na wo washamaya Ekus pharmacy washamaya Little George ewo tema community 5 me can PV open roundabout so pe obian 3p ho opedudo pa dia na ye Angel Heba o kanshi obian 3p garlic mixture na Ghana for ma me konokura no 3p garlic mixture oba ebe regulate kama ama obusumi akontrol dem etimi awie pe ka hu se esense edu no ebo immune system no embo ma moja ediafosa no edu sa relax ma eyawa wote ma wote me da sorry the next day etwa ko wajuma so numbers no 0248 9288 24 0248 9288 24 and I say 020 100
that's right
another 00 21 020 100 another 00 21 3p garlic mixture was it naturally
organic
yari biesru
na me would he said you was listening to me my whole press conference but my jeans something na 3p garlic mixture na no what do you say And no bar me back. Dog. Now you said the best. All right. But that's as always. I was here for DwaboAse upon 97.9 TVXYZ. Now me yes also Mama Fisher Puffy said high sense dear. What we say for ya yesimu and no man ye papa nkwa na we here e wo wodem mo e wo fie mu said be bibia bakoso tote. What did you make can say electrical appliances papa ni bi e high sense na obenya bi ato. Eti new year ya yesimu me fie nya de me fie de yonko yo. To say high sense. High sense. Everyday prices for everyday to do La Paz, Batrona. Outside Accra, Kumasi City Mall, Kumasi Adum, Kumasi Post Office, Kumasi Tafu, Kumasi Tanoso, Takrade, Takwa, Sunyai, Tamale, Hohoi, Obuasi Mankasim, Techiman, Gofordia. When you know high sense showrooms, well, none what they are na Yabusia paying be a wedding fee at Duosianum 65 years. Didiane Victor Odate Mills. Victor Odate Mills. Victor Odate Mills, no near him father was say, oh, Adrimu Kaya dear Kakra. Oh, Adrimu Kaya dear Kakra. Na nanu ya no free fee, yes, sir, Dano Bessie net, what was our mefie, or free fee on the 4th of January 2025. I'm a papa and free fee. Or free fee and also not share a year t-shirt, not a Lacoste, black and white, a striped, black and white striped, and I was a track suit, trouser ash, and a shoe net and also black. Na free fee besi na yehuno. Mr. Mada sebia muti me mo hwame na opanyin a ma describe ni anase makano wasemi ebia wani abono so owo bi otesren Mr. Victor Odate Mills. You can actually call this number 0244-714-079 0244-714-079 and the family will be thankful. It's a thankful Tuesday morning. Enter your mind to say but many Moses Clinic and Nebal Center, some in country, Abusia for Mutia Mishaman say, Omajila Ceylon Cinnamon so, and the Medi Moses Garlic capsules about when you have been to a Yakopebito, said by a Mojanobedia for sunny year, a bed check cholesterol level, no, a bed detoxify body, no meaning say, baby fee, and then kick out everybody anymore. I'm one day home. Now come Medi Moses Clinic and Nebal Center. Yeah, I'm here too. I know we fear. Yes, sign better now. It is not a news. Yeah. But if you fail, that is when it will be news. Because he say you are competent and you can do it. That is where the problem is. But me, me interest. I have 99.9% in that man. Trust in that man. I'm telling you, despite everything. 99.9% faith. Yes, faith in that man. I'm telling you. And I know he would deliver despite everything. 100% in Yakupon. I like that. So, me, and when I may catch a microphone, say, listen, we dinner temo, when dinner temo, say, yen and net dianka one matter. But I shall see ye home. Meanwhile, was surprising me because when the man didn't go to opposition, he was in power. Because God bless him. Nanyame Emanu. Amen. It's why you need that swore. But then that's so honor. And that's so honor, say. Because Mahama be the papa and 2 years in now they are sharing the papa near man over no. Okay. What I say? Ha. Because so who near obey the who near my papa and babe kosu. What I say? Yes, 24 hours economy. Say obi e wo nipa or waso. To say senior need that so herbal clinic abano. What I say? You can babe plan ye nebeko. So we've been with him throughout. That's right. So yeah, Babeko, yeah, running 24. And I'm on holidays in Ukraine. Holidays. I'm telling you because yeah, nah. When you believe in good policy and you have a good leader, you follow the leader. Follow the leader. I'm telling you. Follow the leader. Say what? Oh, it's Brother Kwame. And Tinefie, yes, senior Mapana, and Tinefie na winning and call off. And Tinefie 2025 near my pair woman. So wouldn't moi. Nanka wa sorry aba be hwe ni aba hwe wa pomoden sa wo pesa wo de yade awie 2025 dia no walo wala esa sesa wo enida so wo heba clinic wo Ghana hadia na minia fa the glaucoma any cataract any pterygium dia ensese wo ma de ben. That's right.
be a mistakenly bra Kwame yade de bia me kan yade monka ye ye plan wedding ye plan friend say outdoor but ye plan yade obetimi akoda sisi a obet ade be chena yade abo
yeah
oti as enu nti na e wasa wa kwada so estate park ni nchen wa takrade yo Archbishop Porter Girls Mr. Oba na sa wa yira pomodin a Fred 0559
yeah
90 12 34 0559 me patro foul 0559 90 12 34 and I say 0596 19 8884 0596 19 8884 yeah chuma efiti ejuada ekosi memeneda anopa no nsia ne yatena se enimbre no num ne yasore me paocho bomodia emma obi na da homfa nko be bi nka ntro say yedenia enduro kogu weni so na yedenia ma akoskrabi weni so na yeyi eteno by force nsra wudi agora weni ebeko
enti bo ho bai
anu ntine o sa bo ho bai awo enidaso wo herbal clinic isi apode akwa mi unim asem there wo ho bebre ba tabora omoyira enti sisi a clinic n'enimu no ya erect very giant billboard very big one enidaso wo herbal clinic e wo so enti baby aka ni besi wo no osiwa Ubo say giant screen fencing a billboard in this clinic n'animu na we benya abotre ne ahwehwe de edi eni no eba ye no na ya ye edi amount very well eye eni daso ho herbal clinic yes Paul Amanteme so oso edi kanfo ya ye bi eguso ye anu nti bra Baba me o say o kai amre bi ye